following program has been produced in collaboration with Hoike Community Media.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the Coconut Wireless. I'm Mel Raposo, and with me today is Tricia Allen from Hoike Studios. By the way, if you notice, we are in Hoike Studios, and I'm getting a little spoiled. This is a much better venue than my bedroom, but we're here today to talk about a very special program that's being made available to all of us here on Kauai, and it's called the IntoLight program. And Tricia, you want to just share a little bit about? By the way, what's your title here?
I'm a producer, but I'm also the community outreach specialist at Hoike.
Very hard work, and Hoike is an awesome partner for our community, and we really appreciate all that they do for our community. But IntoLight program came to us. We had it on the council floor for a briefing, and it's an amazing program. In fact, you know what? Let's check out the video, very short video, so you can see what IntoLight is all about.
The IntoLight Project is changing the conversation about drug addiction through the power of art and story. In February 2026, the exhibition comes to Hawaii, honoring lives lost with original portraits and personal narratives. Each story submitted by their loved ones becomes a beacon, sparking connection, inspiring change, and bringing light to a shared struggle.
Teresa Clower, you are the founder of the IntoLight Project. For those people who have never heard about the project before, can you just kind of go over what it is that you folks do and how you started this?
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you for having me, Tricia. The IntoLight Project, the whole purpose of this organization is to end the stigma and change the conversation around drug addiction. And we do that through the power of beautiful original artwork, graphite portraits, and storytelling. The project began in 2019, just after my son Devin died from an accidental overdose. And Dev was a beloved son, brother, uncle, grandson, full of life. 32, I may have mentioned that. And so he didn't anticipate dying. He was all kinds of wonderful things, and he had a drug addiction. So as a way of processing that grief as a mom, I took to drawing his portrait, which was pretty cathartic for me. It opened a floodgate. It opened up the opportunity for me to express that grief, but also to share that newfound passion for portrait work with others who have lost loved ones like we have. And so the idea is that in every single state in the country, 40 more people will be drawn. It's graphite, pencil work. These portraits are beautiful renditions of the people who've died, and then we write a nice narrative of each of these individuals. And those public exhibitions are open for anyone to come see, and we encourage open conversation so that people understand that people like my son were normal human beings. He was not, the scum of the earth. He was not, as people like to say, addicts and all kinds of judgy things. Devin suffered, and it's a disease. So we really try with this project to talk about the idea that this is not a moral failing. It's a disease. So Kauai happens to be the location for our Hawaii show, and the community college there in Kauai and their Performing Arts Center have graciously agreed to hosting the exhibit for anyone who lives in the state of Hawaii. So it's open to anyone outside of Kauai, of course. The submission process is simple. We're doing 30 portraits from people throughout Hawaii. We have 28 more that we can take. So we have some room, and the exhibition is opening on February 1st, and I believe that our opening reception will be February 22nd there, and it will stay up for 6 months. So anyone that is interested can go on our website, which is IntoLight IntoLightProject.org, O-R-G. And on there, there's a submission page, Share Your Story, it's called. And it will say Hawaii, and they click on Hawaii, and there'll be a series of questions that are filled out. The more detail people can give us, the better the story will be. And then at the bottom of the narrative, we'll ask for 3 photographs, and you pick the ones that you love of your loved one. The artist then is given those photographs, and the writer is given the answers to your narrative questions. And they will create the portrait and create the story, and then they will share it with you. Once you're happy with that narrative and the portrait, that's when we call it final. If you're not happy, we keep working on it until you are. So by the end of this, each family will have a beautiful framed portrait as well as the story to accompany their loved one. So that's how it works. And it's really very meaningful from a family's point of view. Yes, it opens up emotion, but at the same time, by submitting and by being part of this project, family members are then helping us to open up the conversation and to end stigma and to humanize everyone who suffers from this disease. And we're also talking about stigma to families. And, you know, when you lose someone to drug addiction, you're not getting a casserole at your front door. You know, it just doesn't work like that. People tend not to talk about it, or I even had some judgment, you know, toward parenting and that sort of thing. I think there's this misunderstanding that this is a huge organization. No, it's not. It's run by mothers like me who've lost a loved one. It's very small, very passionate, and very respectful, because we've all been there. We know what it feels like. The exhibit, when it's up, it's really beautiful. It's not a downer. People say, how could you be so kind of morose? It's not. It's celebrating people and for the whole person, not just their darkest moments, right?
All right, welcome back. You know, it's an inspirational video. So many of us here on the island are aware or have been a part of or know someone that has been involved with drug addiction and suicide. And it's a very hard thing to get through. And that video clearly showed some case studies, if you will. But Tricia, it's here on Kauai now for our community to participate in, and
Yep.
We are at a point now where we need to find at least 15 families that have suffered from the loss of a loved one, and we want to make that happen. We want to bring this program here. We want to bring this exhibit here at the Kauai Community College. And I want to thank you again for allowing us to share this.
I'm happy to do it. We're one of the media partners for the IntoLight Project, because when it came across my desk, it sounded, Teresa's story is incredible. It's very inspirational, and it just hit me in the heart, hit me in the feels. So the fact that they're coming to Hawaii and having this statewide exhibit right here on Kauai at the KCC Performing Arts Center in February is pretty incredible, because a lot of statewide events and exhibits don't happen on our island. So that alone is special. But being able to destigmatize this substance abuse disorder is really important, because it affects our community, and a lot of people feel shame about it, whether they've had a family member that's fallen victim or they themselves do. I think it's important for them to know that they're not alone, and they're more than just their disease. And it's not because they're a bad person. It's because they need help and they need support, and before it's too late, you know, most importantly. So this project, like Teresa said, is to honor those who have died as a result of substance abuse disorder. And we actually had one of the participants come in to the studio. Her name is Akanahe, and she submitted Johnny Papagayo, his story. That's an interview you can see on our YouTube channel if you haven't seen it. But it's it's really, I mean, there's no words. Having her in the studio that day, it just made me want to help get the word out more. So thank you for allowing us to do that, because I know a lot of people watch Coconut Wireless. So it's an honor to be here first.
Well, you mentioned stigma, and there was a time, and I'm almost embarrassed to even say this, but there was a time where I didn't agree that addiction was a disease. I just didn't. It was in my young days, And as I've gotten to become older, I have, there is no doubt in my mind that it is a disease, and it is one that many people suffer from. And the stigma associated with addiction is real. And how do we get over the stigma? How do we make it? I remember there was a campaign in the NFL and many of the professional sports organizations talking about it's okay not to be okay. And that helps when kids and young adults can look up at role models, and they're telling our kids that it's okay to not be okay, and that's helping remove the stigma. But the stigma is still there.
It is.
And this program, which, as was mentioned in the video, really helps with the healing, and it leaves you with a portrait of your loved one that has so much meaning. And if you watched Aka Nahe, her video, and again, Hoike has a YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, search out Hoike, hit the subscribe button, and click the bell icon. But if you see her video, she talks about how easy it was to really, it's an interview. It's an interview that you do online, and it's very simple to do. And with that interview, an artist will create this portrait of your loved one that you get to keep at the end, and I think it's very special.
It's a really easy process. I think that was one of the things that she was most surprised by. And on top of that, it's a very personal process. They treat you, they don't want to know, what kind of drugs a person used or how they passed. What they focus on is what kind of person was your loved one? What kind of sports did they like? What did they do for fun? What kind of, hobbies did they have? And that was what made her feel like this was for her. This was the move for her. And it's easy to do. You go to IntoLightProject.org. There's a button for the state of Hawaii, and then you click it, and it will actually give you a form to fill out. It's a step-by-step form. You fill out the prompts. After you do that, somebody reaches out for pictures. You get to choose the pictures, and they'll reach out. A professional writer will also reach out about writing this, I think it's a 500-word essay about your loved one that accompanies the photo, and both of which you get to keep at the end of this whole thing. And they will text you, they'll call you, they'll email you. I mean, however you prefer to be communicated with, whatever works for you, that's what they'll do. And they won't finish the project, they won't consider it finished until you are happy with the picture and the narrative, and you give the thumbs up. Otherwise, they don't do it. So it's a very specialized and custom, personal process, which Akanahe said was really great for her because it was something positive. It was a way that she could actually take positive action instead of, feeling so helpless with the passing of Johnny. So.
Yeah, the grieving process is so important, and different people grieve in different ways. And I look at this as being not so much a showcase, but a celebration of the life of your loved one that has passed, and an opportunity where you get to share that, and in a very non-invasive way, I guess I'll say, because it's you and the computer, and you're sharing your parts of your loved one's life and your life together in this, creating this canvas that some professional artists will use, not only to draw the portrait, but also to write the story, as you mentioned, that you'll get to keep. So again, we need 15 participants, and then the display will be brought here, and it'll be up at the Kauai Community Center for all to to see.
Mm-hmm.
And if you heard Teresa's story, it helped her tremendously.
Yeah.
And it kind of started by accident,
Yep.
and then it became a program now that's going across the country. And we are blessed to have it here in Kauai.
Yeah, and there's local artists that are helping with the portraiture as well. Carol Meckling is one of the local artists who's assisting in drawing the pictures, so you won't necessarily get somebody who you know isn't in your community. So that's always nice too, to have somebody in the community doing something for the community. You know, helping heal, helping. Really just kind of get the word out and destigmatize everything. We can't stop this sort of epidemic, I know people call it that. We can't stop it until we talk about it.
Right.
And this is part of that step, is talking
Absolutely.
about it.
And again, you know, the stigma is real, and some people really feel that they cannot talk to anyone about it because of the embarrassment or the shame, as you said.
Yeah.
And we need to get rid of that. You know, we were talking about the food bank the other day, and that people are so embarrassed to go get food, and yet we know that like our drug epidemic, hunger is real, even here in our beautiful Kauai, and no one should be ashamed of reaching out for assistance if they need it, because there's so many of us now that are struggling, and this provides a pathway for families that are struggling with this grieving process, the loss of a loved one, gives them a pathway where they can help them to heal.
Right.
And
And
it's
heal with
powerful.
others too, not just alone, to help them not feel so isolated. There are other people in that same similar situation that you can relate to and talk to about it, and that is healing as well, you know?
So we know that there are many people right here on Kauai, and in fact across the state, that are thinking right now, watching this and saying, "Oh, I wonder if I should. I wonder if I should." And I'm suggesting that you do. I'm suggesting that you visit IntoLight.org.
IntoLightProject.org.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
IntoLight, INTOLIGHT project.org,
Yep.
and fill it out. As Tricia said, at the end of the day, nothing goes out, nothing gets done until you say it's okay. But I will, and I have been blessed that although I know people that have lost their lives to addiction, and have helped in some small way with their loved ones in the grieving process. I know enough that it's not easy, and this provides you an opportunity, and I will go as far as say that this will help. It will help the healing process. The fact that you'll be able to share that story and help others as well. And I think that's the other part of this, is that, you know, you're helping yourself with the process, the grieving process, but it will also help others that are going through that as well.
Yeah. And that also helps to heal. When you can help somebody else, even though you're going through something, that empowers you, that gives you a little more clarity, and it helps you get over the hump. I don't know.
Yeah,
It starts to help put the pieces back together.
Absolutely. You know, as people will go through the Kauai Community Center display or the exhibit, and they'll get to read these stories of these very special people that are no longer with us, it will help them heal. It just will. They'll realize that they are not alone. And this is such an amazing project that I had no idea existed until you all brought it to our attention. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
But that's kind of what Hoike does. You guys are here for the community.
Yeah, we're community media. So that's exactly what we're here for, as a matter of fact.
I love the changes of Hoike. I love the direction that your team is moving towards. We're creating this complete community media spot, I guess I'll say, Hoike. And if you haven't enjoyed the benefits of Hoike, I suggest you do. And again, one easy way, obviously Hoike.org, but go to YouTube and find Hoike's channel and subscribe, because there's so much content. And you'll also find a lot of content on IntoLight
Yeah.
Project as well. there was one more thing I just wanted to cover real quick is how can people get more information on this program?
They can go to IntoLightProject.org. It explains everything. It shows examples of past exhibits, so you can get an idea of what you can expect. This exhibit's going to be 6 months long. So it starts in February and it lasts for 6 months, but it's not going to happen if we don't get enough entries. 15 is the minimum, but there is up to 30 spaces. So if you're on the fence, I'd like to push you over it gently, of course, and really recommend doing it. Once you go to the website and see how amazingly beautiful and heartfelt these narratives and pictures are, it's really beautiful. These exhibits are incredibly gentle and calm. Like Teresa said, it's not morose, it's not sad, it's a celebration of who these people were rather than, how they became to no longer be with us. So IntoLightProject.org, you can get all the information there. And if you want to watch the interviews that we've done so far about it, you can go to Hoike. KCTV is the YouTube handle, I believe. And under the Community Connections portion, that's where the episodes are. You can watch those.
Yeah, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the stories. And we'll actually close out this segment, this video with Akanahe's video.
What a great idea.
Just so you all can see. Many of you know Akanahe, and I was actually very happy that she did this project because it was very clear in the video that it helped her.
Yeah.
It helped her significantly, and that's all we want to do. We want to make sure that you're comfortable. And again, IntoLightProject.org, or you can shoot me an email. My email is easy, melraposo@gmail.com, and I'll help you navigate through the process. We want to get you into this project, and again, as we stated, it's we need to have at least 15, or they're going to move this project to some other location. I don't want to see that happen. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like Tricia said, most of these things happen on Oahu.
Right.
We're getting it right here, but we need 15, and I don't know what the count is right now, but we are definitely in
We're
need.
on the lower end of
Yeah.
15 right now.
Yeah.
And the deadline is the end of the year. So if you can get it in before the end of December, please do. We don't want you to be rushed, but in order to get the frames and the portraits done and all that on time, then end of December, it's been extended. It used to be the end of November. They pushed it out another month in hopes that we can get the community together to do this. So let's do this.
Please, Christmas is around the corner. This is the holiday season where everybody's supposed to be happy, and yet many households are going to be empty. One less seat at the table, and that grieving process, gets significant. It increases significantly because it's that time of year. So let's use this project as a way to help our families. So if you know anyone, or if you yourself have suffered a loss, IntoLightProject.org, melraposo@gmail.com. I'll help you get through it. Or you can reach out to the Hoike Studios at,
Yeah.
What's your number?
My number is 808-246-1556. Is that right? Okay. 246-1556, or you can email me directly. It's tallen, ALLEN, @hoike.org, and I'm happy to point you in the right direction as well.
Well, Tricia, thank you again
Thank
for
you.
making this wonderful place available. And I think I'm going to do my podcast here every
You're
night.
more than
now.
welcome.
Yeah, this is
Come on in.
incredible.
We're happy to have you.
This is so cool. And we just want to thank Hoike for allowing us this opportunity. And as I said, we'll wrap this up with Akanahe's video. And we appreciate all you guys, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and stay safe. Aloha, y'all.
The IntoLight Project is changing the conversation about drug addiction through the power of art and story. The exhibition is set to open in February 2026 at the Kauai Community College Performing Arts Center and will honor lives lost due to substance abuse disorder with original portraits and personal narratives. In order to make this exhibit a possibility, the IntoLight Project is currently looking for submissions from Hawaii residents across all the islands. From now until the end of December, anyone from any island can submit their loved one's story by visiting IntoLightProject.org. Each submission is honored with a professionally drawn portrait and written narrative to spark change regarding the stigma surrounding those who suffer from substance abuse disorder. The project still has plenty of spots open, and all submissions are accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. One of the first people to enter.
Hi, my name's Akanahe Raposo, and I am from Anahola, Kauai.
Tells us about her loved one, Jonathan Papagayo, and why she decided to submit his story, as well as what it was like working with the IntoLight Project on something that means so much to her.
So Johnny was really kind, caring, compassionate, funny, like the most humblest guy you would ever meet. Like, had no problems with anybody, was easy to get along with. He was into riding dirt bikes, fishing, hunting. Like, he's an all-around outdoor person. We met in 2018. Johnny and I got clean. I got clean April 4th, 2023, from an overdose. And I was 8 months pregnant, and they medevaced me to Kapiolani, and Johnny joined me 10 days after that, so he got clean on April 14th, 2023. And then I gave birth April 24th, 2023 to our son Kaikena, and we decided to make a new life on Oahu. So we went to treatment, got clean, lived on Oahu for a year, and then moved back to Kauai. Johnny got back into riding dirt bike every Sunday. That was his go-to. He really loved it. Hunting, raising our kids with family. Life was good. We got clean. So Johnny got into a dirt biking accident. He hurt his shoulder or something, like over here, and he was in a lot of pain. They just gave him ibuprofen and stuff, and he was still in pain. And he relapsed, I'd say about a week before he passed away. And
do you think that had something to do with his injury?
Yeah, I think he was in a lot of pain and just really bummed that he couldn't ride his dirt bike and like go to work or anything, and was really down. And when I found out he relapsed, I asked him if he wanted help, and he did. So we went to the Wynn House for an assessment, and they told him they did like an assessment with him, and they told him once they get his results back that he could start classes. So that usually takes about a week. And within that week, they got his results back the day he passed away. Being clean up for almost 2 years together, and this happening has been crazy. You never really know, I guess, what you're dealing with until it happens. So yeah. How I heard about the IntoLight Project, I heard it on the radio. I don't know what station it was on, but I heard a radio ad about it, and instantly I pulled over to the side of the road, and I was like, we need to share his story. in hopes that it will reach someone struggling and hear the pain that I'm going through or my family is going through, and would make them want to get help, I guess. And I don't know, I just really felt that to honor him and all the good that he's done, instead of just what happened, I guess.
So tell me a little bit about the process itself.
So the process was, I went online, I pressed the link on it on IntoLight, and then it says the Hawaii submissions. So I pressed that, and then it brought me into like a document where I would put his name, his birthday, just like basic information. And then it starts asking questions like, how would you describe your loved one in 4 words? And then you elaborate on that 4 words. The 4 words I used to describe Johnny was kind, adventurous, funny, and outgoing, I think it was. And they give you like a 500-word limit to kind of talk about your loved one. And that was hard. 500-word limit was pretty hard for me, because it was like, how do I describe his life in 500 words? It was hard. Anyways, I submitted it, and then I heard back within days from, I think it was Barbara. And then they wanted me to do edits on it, and they helped me elaborate more, if that's the word for it. So it's an easy process, it's just doing it. At first it was overwhelming, but then when I got the response of a person, like on my email, and then text on my phone from that person, then I felt, oh my God, this is actually a real thing. Like at first I was like, I don't know if this is real or what. I had a lot of doubts, but then when I got the response from Barbara and Teresa, like, then I was like, okay, this is real. And then they were like, okay, I'm gonna link you up with an artist that we are picking. And I was like, oh wow, okay, this is moving really fast. Like, wow, okay. And then I got linked up with the artist, and then he wanted me to send pictures to him of Johnny, so I did. And then we had conversations. So it was cool, like, oh my gosh, the fish, he was a fisherman. And just having these people to talk to and like see that they really want to honor him is what like pushed me more to go through with it and like actually respond and go along with it. So anyways, I got the pictures to him, and after like the 10th one or so, he's like, yep, this is the one I can do. And within like, I'd say a day, I got like the first draft of the portrait of Johnny, and it was beautiful. Like I was just like, he's like, did you like it? And I was like, yes, I don't need no changes, it's perfect, I love it. And I got back the 500-word limit or whatever. I got that back, the final edit, and I loved it. So
for anybody who is sort of like on the fence about this, what advice that you think they should know? What's something they should know about this?
That I think what they should know about the IntoLight Project is that they want to honor your loved one that has passed away. That's one of the things that struggle on Kauai, is the stigma around drugs and just people that struggle with it. They are about remembering all the good things and like what your loved one is really about. And it's only positive. I think of it, it's positive what they're doing, and that's pretty much why I stuck out with it, because I want to remember Johnny as funny, kind, caring, Kaikena's dad, my love of my life. And they're helping me do that, you know, and I just hope that other people will go and enter too. Yeah, I really do think this is helping me heal. Just being able to talk about it and be in action and do positive things, which is like, this is a positive thing for me, and just be in action, I think. Yeah, the thing that I'm most looking forward to at the exhibit is having all his family come and like in honor of him, and just seeing his picture and like just remembering him for what he was in life. You know, an awesome dad and an outdoor person, kind, caring. Oh, he would always say, "Hang in there." I have it on the back of the shirt. So this is his memorial shirt that we made him. So pin him like pain, and then his signature. Because when he rode dirt bikes, it was like all gas, no brakes. Like, and that's how he got hurt, because he was like, he was just great on a dirt bike. Like, I guess one big memory that I will forever have ingrained was when my son was born, and how proud he was. He was 10 days clean, and I was about 20 days clean, and it was just a beautiful thing. He was so proud to be a dad. And every time I see it, like when he was with our son, like he was just so proud, you know, and that's what kind of, I want my son to remember his dad as that, you know, everything positive. So I think that's another thing why I put him in this IntoLight project, because it's positive. Like, they don't ask like exactly what happened or anything. They just want to know, like, okay, what was he about? Like, what did you love about him? What made him him? Like, nobody really, anybody else asked that, like, ever. So just for that was cool. I think that's what really made me stick on, like, okay, well, let's go forward with this. I wish I had my thing that I wrote. Then I would have just read that. Yeah.
Do you have?
I wonder if I have it on my phone. Okay, yeah, I do have it.
Oh, good. Do you mind reading it?
Yeah. Okay, so Johnny J. Payne Papagayo. Loving, caring, genuine, humble, respectful. Johnny was born and raised in the beautiful, close-knit community of Kapa'akoi to Philip Sr. and Benita Papagayo. The ocean, the mountains, and the mud under his boots ran through his veins. He carried his island with him everywhere, in the way he lived, the way he loved, and the way he made everyone feel like family. A loving and caring, respectful man, Johnny's presence and love were deeply felt. Johnny's struggle with substance use disorder was real, and though he worked hard to overcome it, he relapsed just 1 week before he passed. There was little warning. The pain of losing him was deep, as was the love he left behind. Johnny was adventurous, caring, hardworking, and deeply rooted in family. He was humble and carried himself with strength, dignity, and a quiet fire in his eyes. He wasn't perfect, but he was real, and real is rare. His legacy lives on in his sons, in the stories shared about him, and in the hearts of everyone he touched. Today we trust that you are resting in green pastures, near still waters, at the top of mountain ridges, in every trail your tires touch, every fish you pulled from the sea, renewed and whole at peace, and watching over us. Until we meet again, ride free, hunt strong, and fish in the craziest waters. We love you forever.
The IntoLight exhibit will be held on the island of Kauai, but submissions for the IntoLight project are accepted from all the islands. Entries will be taken on a first-come, first-served basis from now until the end of December. Complete details and registration information about the IntoLight project can be found at intolightproject.org.